If you've already voted for Trump, I think God will forgive you. But if you haven't made that mistake yet, he's making a fool of you. He's making a fool of you.
He said that there should be no more elections. I mean, I don't know how people could be true Americans and just go along with that path will be a doomsday. This is not a joke. It's not funny. This is like life and death.
Trump goes out and he says, I'm going to use the military to arrest my political enemies. What's at stake in this election? Okay, the Constitution's at stake. I'm not going to do well. You're not going to do well, all right? When the paddy wagon comes, you and I are going to be in the back of it bouncing around. And it's not going to be very much fun. So you don't like the price of eggs or the Constitution? What's really fundamental to the future of this country?
Tonight's red hot video, and by the way, paddy wagon is an anti-Irish slur, but never mind that. You know, Democrats are losing it when they talk like that, and they talk like that a lot, don't they? And Politico couldn't resist jumping in on the action either. Their new clickbait headline reading, "The very real scenario where Trump loses and takes power away." He loses and he takes power away. So, excuse me, takes power anyway.
Yes,
I apologize.
yes.
Takes power anyway. And so he loses, but he takes power anyway. They have really a fertile fantasy life, these people.
Yeah, they do, and it's really unfortunate because there's been 3 attempts on Donald Trump's life thus far, and they promised to lower their rhetoric, but they're amping it up in the final weeks of this campaign. But listen here, this is how we all know it's just BS. It's because Bob Casey in Pennsylvania, Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin, Alyssa Slotkin in Michigan are all running ads featuring President Trump and how they embraced his policies, how they wanted to get rid of NAFTA, how they want American-made goods, how they're for fracking. So if Donald Trump was this evil Hitler fascist monster, I don't think you'd be seeing Democrats in this Rust Belt run toward him instead of away from him in the final weeks of the campaign. Well,
what's going on with the name-calling, Foldi? It's true they're painting him as fascist and Hitler and Mussolini, and he's doing better than ever.
Well, that's why I'm not so sure this is much of a change since 2015, where Democrats are using hyped-up and insane rhetoric. One asset that, at least for me, I think that Democrats are bringing to the stage at the final days of the election is Eminem is doing a concert, I hope, not a rally. I hope he's doing a concert in Detroit, very fittingly, with and for, I assume, Kamala Harris tonight. And I think that is at least a compelling surrogate to people like myself, far more so than a lot of these other people. I think Spike Lee looked amazing. I couldn't actually really tell the point that he was making in that segment. But Eminem in Michigan, I think that you would be foolish to lose yourself and discount him as a surrogate there.
Not to be outdone, CNN guest Angela Rye had this ominous warning for white people if Kamala loses.
It's wonderful that President Obama is out hitting the trail for democracy, frankly. And what I think is a mistake is to let white folks escape the accountability that they must face for not showing up to save democracy themselves. Patriotism to them looks like trying to tear down the Capitol in a terrorist attack on January 6, 2021. So the responsibility of saving democracy should be on the largest demographic in this country. That is white men and white women.
So, Jason, we had 2 indictments of the white men for saving democracy. It'll all be on Whitey if Kamala loses, and democracy will be lost. And we were just talking about the rhetoric. The rhetoric is dialed up to 12, and he's already been shot once, and 2 other people arrested. And the Democrats aren't going to dial this down, are they?
So when you talk about rhetoric and, you say that someone is the enemy within, that they're worse than Russia, and that they're communists and socialists and fascists. I think that's, coming from the right and not from the left. And I would also say that what she was talking about there is blaming, oftentimes these losses are blamed on, it'll be blamed on the Muslim community in Michigan.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.